Holy smokes, it's cold out today. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're back with my Mercedes. And we have another thing to fix. In the last episode, I fixed this. And so far, I've had no problems with it. And everything works pretty good. The thing I'm fixing today is gonna be under the engine again. Let me take this off. These are always a pain to take off. I am replacing my valve cover gaskets today. I love how these are leaking right now. Got a couple more things to fix in my engine before I'm fairly satisfied. While I'm doing this, I'm going to be doing the breather sealant. There's a breather hose back here somewhere. Valve cover gaskets, and then my serpentine belt. If you look at the state that this is in right now, it is no good. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I have all the parts. I have my tools today, so I don't have to bring my dad back. Here are my tools. Hopefully I actually have the parts. It would be kind of a shame if I did not bring the parts. You see the serpentine belt in here. There's that serpentine belt. This actually came off of this is not brand new. I got this kind of secondhand off of a used car. It's actually off of the V6 version of this. So hopefully that works. Next we got the sealant for the breather covers. I got a breather hose. Usually these go pretty frequently. They're pretty brittle, so they will crack easily. A lot of these actually are plastic, so this is actually a rubber one, but I don't know why it still gets brittle. Apparently it's a common fix on these engines. Got my valve cover gaskets and the hardware. You can probably see that. Hardware for the breather valves. So, the first thing that I want to try and do is wherever it went. Oh, here it is. Try and do this. I want to do my serpentine belt first. I think that'll be a good start. Again, I still have no idea what I'm doing, so kind of a YOLO at this point. I really have no idea. So from what it looks like, there's a tensioner pulley right here. I have I think that's an E10 that goes right into there, and then there's a little pin. I don't know where exactly it goes, but it goes in somewhere. And then I should be able to take this belt off. And I was not kidding when I said I did not know what I was doing. And that seemed to be a common theme in this video. I needed to put a 17mm socket in a specific bolt that was able to untension the pulley from the belt and slide the belt off. I did actually have a pin to hold the pulley instead of me holding the ratchet, which really could have helped. But so what, sometimes you gotta do things the hard way to really learn. I got the belt off. So, now I'm gonna figure out how the belt kind of routes back on. And also, hopefully, this is the same belt, which looks like it's the same size. So, I think we're in luck. Just gotta find the one that's worn. Alright, yeah, so this one is the new one. This is the old one. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but super worn, super... It's definitely time for a new one. So, it's time to get back to a time lapse and watch me struggle to put this back in. Now doing this belt was really tricky. I was holding down the ratchet while I was trying to put the belt on, which was not fun at all. On top of that, it made it even more difficult for two more reasons. One being, there was almost no space for me to put my arm down in between the fan and the engine. The second reason being, I had no idea how this belt is routed. I did not take a picture of how it got routed before I took it off, which was a big mistake on my part, but with a bit of Googling, I was able to find out how it routes and finally get it back on. Alright, well, I finally did it. My battery's about to die on this thing. But we finally got the new belt on there. I'm going to replace the battery on this thing. And after that, I'm going to be good to start it. Now, while actually getting the battery from my camera, I found my Red Bull. It's time to hydrate. I feel like a mechanic right now. It's time to get working. Now, the next thing I need to do is put this back on right here, and I got to see if this actually works. So, I think it should work. So let's just throw this on. Take this glove off so that no dust and dirt gets in there. And there's these little clips that are right there. All you gotta do is just press down, make sure that the back presses down or you get a vacuum leak. Make sure that's all set. Now we should be good. Now let's just hope. Oh, I have the keys in my pocket. Let's just hope it turns over.
Waiting for pairing. Head.
So, I think we're good. Spinning. It's a lot quieter. Except for the fact that my injectors need to get replaced, which is going to be in a future video. That I'm going to do. Stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. But I think I did that pretty successfully. And for that, it's time to hydrate it again. Oh, that feels good. Feels like victory. See if there's any lights. Not that it would probably throw any lights, but you know, just in case. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Let's give it a little rev. Sounds like a V8. I also just realized I probably should open this up so that there's no fumes in here. Oh, I gotta do it this way because my garage door doesn't open. Welcome to the outside. All right, perfect. Now, while actually revving, kind of eliminated that whole injector problem. But it looks like everything's spinning. Everything looks like it's working properly. So, I guess next thing we got to do is the valve cover gaskets. Now, to get to the valve cover gaskets on this car, I gotta take out these T30s and the spark and the coil packs. Take these out, take the wires out, and then undo these. I think these are E10s all the way around. Take these bolts out here, which are T10s from what it looks like. But the parts that I got, I'm gonna have to see when I do it. It's not an E10. Let's focus here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not an E10. So hopefully my parts department actually gave me the right
Hopefully they gave me the right part. If not, I guess I'm just not going to do the valve cover or the breather covers. So actually what I might do is just wait to do the breather seals and just do the valve cover gaskets first. And then I'll do my injectors and my breather covers when I do that.
And honestly, it was not long until I found my first problem.
Now, this part is the breather tube. Now, this part right here is the breather tube that comes from the breather box or the breather covers, goes right here and out through here. Now, Mercedes, they gave me the wrong part, so I'm gonna have to do this another time as well.
And honestly, I didn't really get the wrong part. I just didn't see the other side. The other side had 2 breather tubes. That one side doesn't actually go brittle. Just the driver's side does, which is kind of weird. Now what I'm doing here is taking the coil packs out, but I'm leaving the coils still attached to the spark plugs, which I'm not really sure if that's a great thing or not. But I guess we'll see what happens later. After the coil packs are off and out of the way, I need to take off the bolts that hold the valve cover on, and also take off that breather hose.
Well, this is my valve cover gasket, or my valve covers. The gasket's still in there. Got to try that out.
After inspecting the valve cover and the lifters and springs and all of the stuff that's under the valve covers, everything looked pretty good. And it was time to take out that valve cover gasket and start cleaning the surface area where the valve cover gasket mates to the block.
And this is the old valve cover gasket. Leaking oil and everything. So now all I gotta do right now, I gotta clean the surface area. Also, for 400,000 miles, that's pretty clean. That is pretty clean. Everything looks pretty good in there. But let's keep going.
All I did here was just clean the mating surface and put the valve cover gasket back on the valve cover. And after I did that, I put some degreaser on the cover just to make sure that it was all clean, just so I could see if the valve cover leaks in the future.
Well, we got one side done. Now basically I just gotta move on to the other side. hopefully it goes a little quicker. Although I think you might have to remove this fuel line out of the way so it's a little bit easier to get to. But other than that, I think it might be fairly simple. Yeah, this basically comes off with it. So hopefully it goes pretty good. Now I finally got that second valve cover off, and holy crap, that was not fun at all. And while doing that, I found out what this piece is for. Right here, there's two breather hoses. There's one right here, and then there's one right there. I don't know if you can see that, but they both go all the way into right here. Now, I was told to get a replacement one of these because these are brittle. Now, they are very brittle. This one and this one both broke. Now, honestly, I don't really want to replace those at the moment because I'm kind of on a time crunch at the moment. But now that we got the valve cover off, and it is currently about 1 o'clock, and I basically have to get all this back on, put everything back together, and out of here by about like 3, I guess. I don't really know. But if I take those breather covers off, or the breather valves, those are going to be a nightmare to take out, because I know I got to move this fuel line, this harness for the fuel line, a whole bunch of other stuff around here. Yeah, it's not fun, not great. Why did I buy a Mercedes? I don't know. But I got to get 2 more pipes for that. I don't know why. This one came off fairly easily. But I guess things happen with a 20-year-old car that has a few more miles than most. So I guess I got to replace that. And on top of that, the harness for the spark plugs, they all pretty much, the casing for them pretty much all broke. They're supposed to look like this, but a lot of them broke. So a lot of the plastic in this is also pretty brittle. Not amazing. Not ideal, as some would say as well. This is taking way longer than it should have. And I gotta talk to someone who knows how to do this stuff and see if I can put all the stuff back together with those broken hoses. I know it's not ideal, but possibly next week when I do my next video, I'll replace those as well. But now it's time to put the new valve cover gasket on, clean it all up, and put it all back together.
This side was nearly identical to the other side. Slide the new gasket on, put the cover back over the valves, and tighten the bolts. And I can surely say that those hoses went on easier than they came off.
Alright guys, I gotta show you something. Why did Mercedes Benz, I mean, it's not that bad, but this fuel line was literally right where that bolt is supposed to go. And it is very annoying to get any sort of socket or swivel or extension in there because it's German. Now, on top of that, it gets even worse. Right down in here, there's a bolt, right? You definitely cannot see that. Hold on. Let me get my light here. There's a bolt. Right. Hold up. Where is it? There it is. You can kind of see it. but that bolt was so hard to get to. Like, why did it have to be so hard? Why did they have to do that? I mean, honestly, I could have just taken the coil packs out, which honestly I probably should have done. But it's a little easier if I don't. About putting everything back together. But we're almost done. Just gotta tighten up, make sure these are all tight. This is tight. And then I should be good to run it. I kind of jerry-rigged some zip ties on here just so this doesn't fall off in the meantime before I get it replaced. So that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. Guys, we have finished. Now, it has been currently about 2 hours-ish that I've been recording and doing this. We got everything torqued, tightened, and put back together on there. On this side as well. We did the belt. And, well, let's start it up. Well, she's running. Doesn't appear to be any immediate leak. Let's see if it threw any check engine lights, because if that vacuum is bad, then it would throw a check engine light. And right now, it doesn't appear to have a check engine light. So, let me open up this door. Let me bring this outside. Definitely not straight. So far, oh, it's just burning a little oil. That is okay, I think. Well, guys, the car runs really good. The new belt really helped. No leaks and no check engine light. So again, I'm calling that a win. So that's going to be the end of the video. Next week I have a couple of other things I want to do. I'm going to be working on an aromatic strut on my buddy's car, so I'll take you along with that. And then I'm going to be doing, hopefully I'll get injectors by the end of next week. And I'll be doing my injectors, which is causing a ticking sound, or at least I think it is. So hopefully that's what causes that, and it gets rid of it. And then after that, I got to do some interior stuff that I'll get to next week, possibly diagnosing that. And then I got to diagnose one other problem that I have with my car, with aromatic struts, and that's gonna be very expensive. Hopefully I don't have to get struts for that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. See you next time.